Hey there, welcome to your practice at the Movement Clinic. My name's Emily. Today's class, we're focusing on leading up to and building up to Ashtavakrasana or 8-angle pose, which is an arm balance. So feel free to take it at your pace, balance on your arms or don't. But either way, make sure to grab a strap as we warm up. It'll help to make a few things a little bit more accessible as we build up to our peak pose. Hop on your mats and I'll see you there. We start lying on our backs today. Make sure that your strap is next to you and handy. We're going to be grabbing it very, very soon. As you lie onto your backs, bend your knees, plant your feet nice and wide. Allow your knees to relax in on one another. Low back widens. Draw shoulder blades underneath you and down your back. One hand over your heart, one hand over your belly. Close your eyes for just a moment. Start to take nice, smooth, deep breaths. And as we move and breathe together today, I invite you to settle into the present moment, accepting whatever is in front of you. Without story, without attachment, or rejection. As we often encounter something different, encounter a new level of challenge, we can attach stories to the process that linger long after they're relevant or true, if they were even relevant or true in the first place. So as we move and breathe together today, if you feel so inclined to share this intention of noticing stories as they arise and gently bringing yourself back to the present, whatever is true of that present moment. Start to hone this noticing, this drawing back to presence now. Maybe noticing where the back of the body meets the mat and is gently lifting away from the mat. Noticing the changing pressure as the weight of that part of your body differs. Slowly start to separate your knees, toe heel your feet back to hip width distance. Hug your right knee in towards your chest, interlace your fingers around your shin. Feel that compression of your thigh onto your rib. And slowly start to move your thigh outside of your ribs, knee in line with your armpit. Now, actively hug that knee in so that as you release the shin, you maintain that rib to thigh connection. Start to press the leg straight and interlace your fingers on the back of the thigh below the knee. Flex your foot, really reach out through that inner heel and the sole of the foot. Exhale, bend the knee, really hug in. Keep a light grip on the back of the thigh. Try to start using the muscles to make this happen of the hip flexors. Press it straight and bend. Again, hugging in, slowly release the back of the thigh. And let the leg go straight to release the hip flexor. And rebend the knee, plant the right foot, hug your left knee in towards your chest. Wrap your fingertips around your shin. Keep that left foot flexed. Here, draw the low belly away from your thigh, but get that rib to thigh connection as you slowly move the thigh outside of the ribs. So inner thigh is still connected to maybe the outer edge of the ribs. Again, actively hug that thigh in. Keep it there as you release the shin. Press the leg straight and interlace your fingers lightly on the back of the thigh below the knee. Press the leg straight, flex the foot, reach out through the heel. And then bend and straighten the leg a couple of times. Again, getting this active hip flexion as we open up the back of the leg. Now, next time you rebend the knee, pause, release the back of the thigh, hug it in. Send the leg straight to release. Rebend the knee, plant the foot, set yourself up for bridge pose. We'll take it nice and slow. Draw the low belly up and in. Feel your bony hip points soften in towards your belly button. Press your elbows and upper arm bones into the mat. Press into the feet. Inhale. Bridge the hips up. Take a pause here. Curl your outer sit bones towards your outer knees. Really feel that sensation of the bottom of your glutes pressing up and through the backs of the thighs to lift the hips a little higher. And slowly release. You can leave the elbows planted or bring the arms with you as you inhale, lift the hips, sweep the arms up overhead, press the glutes up through the backs of the thighs, and exhale, release. Last one, inhale, lift the hips, arms sweep up overhead, and exhale, release. Grab the backs of both thighs below the knees. Start to rock and roll your way to a seat or simply meet me in a seat. Now here's where you're gonna grab your strap. Bring your right leg out to the right, sole of the left foot inside of that right thigh. Take your strap, even if you feel that you don't need it, go ahead and do it. You never know where we're going. Loop the strap around the ball of the right foot. Zip up the low belly, reach out through the heel, just like we were doing on our backs. As you exhale, draw the belly back and start to soften ribs onto thigh again, lifting belly away from thigh, but actively reaching and compressing ribs onto that thigh. Allow the shoulders to stay softly away from the ears. We're not using our neck to hold us here. Just this active hip flexion, squeezing that right kneecap and maybe the weight or the strength rather of the biceps helping to hold the upper body in place. Now, lift up and out of this about halfway so that your ribs and belly are off of the thigh. Scoop up the low right belly and start to turn your chest to the left. Grab both ends of the strap in the right hand, nice and close to that right foot. Scoop up that low belly, roll the top ribs back and wrap those bottom ribs forward. Keep that. Reach left arm out behind you, flip your palm up to the sky, reach up and overhead. Heart is not collapsing in, heart stays lifted underneath that lifted left arm. Slowly opening up left side body. Inhale to release. Release the strap out of the way for now. Plant your left hand outside of your left hip. Press into the left shin, bridge those hips up, sweep that right arm up and overhead. As you exhale, sink hips down. We're going back where we came from. Right hand softly reaches to right foot, left arm reaches up and overhead, stretching out left side body. Inhale, Bridging up those hips, left hand plants, press that left shin into the mat. Press those glutes into the backs of the thighs. Exhale. Stretch out left side body, sitting back down, reaching both hands gently towards the right foot. And last one, bridge up those hips. Sweep right arm up and overhead. And release. And switch. So left leg moves out in front of you. Sole of the right foot inside of the left thigh. Grab that strap again. Loop it around the ball of the left foot. Flexing left foot, reach out actively through the left heel so much you feel that left kneecap squeeze onto the leg. Zip up the low belly, so finding that rib to thigh connection actively as we hinge at the hip to bring our rib to press onto the thigh. Low belly is still scooping and lifting up and away, just with the muscles. Even if your belly, like mine, is still resting on the thigh, I'm lifting, I'm engaging my core. Neck is soft, and sides of neck are long. Now lift up and out halfway. Left hand grabs both ends of the strap close to that left foot. Press your left ribs forward as you wrap or draw the right ribs back. Left hand stays nice and close to the foot. Reach right arm out behind you. Flip the palm to face the sky. Reach up and overhead. Right sit bone stays rooted. We're lengthening our right fingers out of our right hip. Heart does not collapse forward. If you do feel that you're collapsing forward, simply come out a little bit. Reach the fingertips straight up. And then start to reach the palm a little closer to that left foot. We're not going our deepest here as we warm up. We're starting to build this muscle memory and intelligence. Scoop your low belly away from your thigh again. See if you can feel that rib to thigh connection here with the outer ribs and the top of the left thigh. And inhale, slowly release. Release your strap off to the side. Right hand plants outside of right hip. Bridge the hips up. Sweep your left arm up and overhead. Exhale, come back where you came from. Opening out right side body. Inhale, bridge those hips up. Right hand plants. Left arm sweeps. Exhale. Open out right side body. Inhale, bridge those hips up. Last one. Exhale. Right side body stretches out. Inhale, bridge the hips up. Really use those glutes, pressing into the backs of the thighs. And slowly release. Grab the backs of the thighs. We're gonna rock and roll and make our way to stand at the top of our mats from here, or simply just stand at the top of your mat. Make sure that strap stays handy at the top of your mat, but we don't need it quite this second. Press down into your feet. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthening spine in opposite directions. Exhale, bend your knees, pick up left foot, step it back. Toe heel right foot as wide as your mat, out to the right. Both hands inside of the right leg. Press your back thigh up, zip up that low belly. So we're still having that action of lifting belly away from thighs. Now get the outer ribs to hug into that inner thigh and squeeze your right knee and inner thigh onto the outer body. Start to activate those adductors, those groin muscles. Walk your fingertips out in front of you. Lengthen in opposite direction. So press back through the back heel. Lengthen forward through the heart. Hug that inner thigh in again. Walk the hands back inside of that right foot. Toe heel your right foot back in towards the midline. Plant your back heel, warrior two. Front knee tracking over toes, stretching fingertips in opposite directions. Inhale, press the front leg straight, reach up. Notice all of this length in the right side body. As you lengthen forward, triangle pose. Really lengthen forward. If you start to round, stretch your armpit out of your right hip again. Release your right hand inside of that right foot. Sweep left arm up and overhead. Flip your top palm to face back. Internally rotate the arm from the shoulder, and take a half bind. Release the back of the hand to the low back. Maybe you might even be able to reach the fingers to grab that front right thigh. Press right ribs forward to roll top ribs back. Inhale, release your half bind, reach left arm up. Zip up low belly, exhale, release left hand inside of right foot. Right hand reaches out in front of right foot. Get that rib to thigh connection as you zip up the low belly. So outer ribs are connecting to that inner right thigh. Hug the inner right thigh onto the ribs even here. Keep connecting to that action over and over. It is going to help us later on. Inhale, lift your gaze, bend your front knee, plant your palms, step back, down dog. First down dog of class, feel free to pedal it out. Inhale, plank pose, shift forward, soften your knees to the mat for this one. We're going to hover and hold a chaturanga. So low belly is zipped. Low back stretching towards the backs of the knees. Heart is reaching forward through those upper arm bones as you hug your arm bones into the shoulder sockets. Keep all of that. Start to bend at the elbows. Keep space in the armpits as you lower. Notice if you're dumping the hips forward, zip up low belly. Find your chaturanga and hold for 3 smooth breaths. Notice if the front tips of the shoulders are sagging, lift those arm bones back and into the shoulder sockets. And release onto your bellies. Plant the tops of the feet, inhale, low cobra, stretch your heart forward. Exhale, down dog. Gaze forward outside of your left pinky finger, inhale, left heel to the sky. Exhale, step left foot outside of left hand. Press that back thigh up, zip up your low belly. Again, both hands inside of that front foot. Outer left ribs inside of that left thigh. Hug your inner leg onto your outer ribs and walk your hands forward. Weight is light on the hands as we lengthen front to back. And hug in. Lots of power here. Training our adductors to do some work, which will ultimately help us later on. And walk your hands back. You might toe heel your left foot in towards the midline a little bit, lining up for warrior two. Plant back heel, warrior two. Press your front leg straight, reach up. Triangle pose, keeping all this length, wrapping that outer left hip underneath you as you start to zip up the belly, but imagine you could get your ribs to connect to that front thigh. It probably won't happen, but just doing that action to find length as you sweep right arm up and overhead, wrap Left ribs forward as you allow the right ribs to soften back. And half bind. Internally rotate that upper arm, palm faces back as you release the back of the hand to the low back, or maybe fingers wrap around that front thigh as you continue to soften the back of the body back into an imaginary wall. Inhale, reach up, release your mind. Exhale, fold forward. Right hand reaches forward, left fingertips reach forward. Get those outer ribs inside of that left thigh, hugging left thigh in. Inhale, lift your gaze, bend your front knee, we meet in down dog. Shift forward as you inhale, plank pose. Option is to lower the knees again, or if you want to try plank, or chaturanga, for those 3 smooth breaths, feel free. Squeeze those glutes, press your glutes into the backs of your thighs, reach back through your heels, forward through your heart, bend your elbows, lower to chaturanga. Lower all the way to your bellies. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale your gaze forward outside of both hands where you're gonna land your feet. You can walk, you can hop, you can float to Malasana squat. Gaze forward, inhale up to tippy toes, zip up the belly. Exhale, keep pressing away through the hands as you walk or float feet forward. Make your way to Malasana squat. Stretch your low back down to the mat, zip up low belly. We've got this rib to thigh compression again here. Themes. So, reach your right arm in front of the right shin bone and outside of the foot. Left arm reaches out. Nice little twist, but here I want you to focus on zipping up low belly, actively pressing your right ribs forward as you roll the left ribs back. Press your arm out into the right shin and gently hug your right inner leg onto the right side body. And switch. Left arm reaches out to the left, right arm up, hug that left shin in as low belly zips, and you really get that inner thigh outside of the line of the ribs, but hug it all in for stability. And slowly release. Option here for crow as we make our way back to down dog, starting to build up a little bit more stability in an arm balance. You can either just transfer weight forward and back a few times if that's where you're comfortable today. You might really start to float up. Find that squeeze of the inner knees on the upper arm bones. Play with it as much or as little as you'd like. And notice where you're placing the weight on your hands. Do you roll to the pinky edge side of your hands? Look at the L space of your thumb and forefinger. Keep pressing down through the pointer finger's knuckle. And step or float back. We meet in down dog. Gaze forward outside of your right hand. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step right foot outside of right finger. Pinky finger, excuse me. So left foot is wide, arms are inside of the leg. Right side of the body is inside of the leg. Pick up your right hand and place it on the back of the calf as you start to leverage your arm and shoulder underneath that right leg. Lizard. Right fingertips reach out to the right. Left hand can stay here to support, or you can reach left fingertips out to the left. Reach back through the back heel. Stretch forward through your heart. Squeeze your right knee onto that shoulder. Hug it in. Slowly unwind and release. Toe heel that right foot in towards the midline. Warrior two, plant back heel, come on up. Inhale, reach up, press your front leg straight, triangle pose. Lengthen into it as you reach left fingertips up to the sky. Half bind as you reach on back with that left hand. Inhale, release your half bind. Exhale, fold forward. Get that right side torso gently inside of the right leg. Inhale, lift your gaze. Bend your front knee. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, shift forward plank. Use your knees or don't for a 3-breath hold in chaturanga. Squeeze your butt, press it onto the backs of your thighs. Reach your heart forward, hug your arm bones back and into your shoulder sockets. Notice the weight in your hands. And slowly lower to your bellies. Woo, it's getting more challenging. Inhale, lift your hearts, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Gaze forward outside of your left hand. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step it wide. Again, find that zipping up of the low belly, especially the left side belly. Take your left hand, place it on the back of your calf to help you leverage your shoulder underneath that left leg. Hug your inner left thigh and knee onto the left ribs and shoulder. Left arm reaches out. Maybe also right hands reach out. And lengthen front to back. Slowly unwind. Toe heel that left foot back in towards midline. Plant back heel, warrior two. Press the front leg straight. Inhale, reach up. Triangle. Keep all of that length. Right arm reaches up and overhead. And half bind. Inhale, release your bind. Exhale, fold inside of that leg. Notice if you're dumping low belly, zip it back up. Notice if you're just resting straight on top of the left thigh. Get that left side torso inside of the leg. Hug the leg in. Inhale, lift your gaze. Bend that front knee. Toe heel your left foot wide again. Malasana squat, top of the mat. Left arm reaches out to the left in front of and outside of that front leg or that left leg. Right arm reaches up. Exhale back through center and other side. Right arm out to the right, left arm up. Inhale. And exhale back through center. Slowly roll your way onto your butts. Go ahead. Bend that left knee, release the outer shin onto the mat, almost like you're gonna do pigeon prep, but not. Interlace your fingers around the ball of the right foot. Right thigh is outside of your ribs, knee is outside of your armpit or reaching in that direction. Now, as much as possible, zip your low belly back. So draw the low belly into the low back. but stretch your heart up. So we're trying to maintain length in the spine. Press your front leg straight. Inhale. Exhale, bend knee and pull the leg back outside of the right side body. Inhale, press it up. Exhale, bend it back. Inhale, press it up. Exhale, draw it back. Now this time hold. Take your left elbow and wrap it around the pinky edge side of your right foot. Right elbow wraps around the right knee. Try to get both sit bones down onto the mat. Maybe shimmy side to side. Stretch your heart up. Draw that thigh, or that shin, excuse me, in towards your heart. And slowly release. Right shin down, switch. Zip up that low belly. Interlace fingers around the ball of the left foot. Find that nice, tall position of the spine. Low belly is helping to keep you upright as well as lengthening heart up. Inhale, press front leg straight. We're keeping the toes flexed back. Exhale, bend the knee. Draw the foot back. Inhale, press it straight. Lengthen up. Exhale, bend it in. Inhale, press it straight. Exhale, bend it in. Pause. Again, left inner elbow captures the outer edge of the foot. Left elbow wraps around the knee. I'm collapsing a little bit here in my spine, so I'm gonna rock side to side, zip up my low belly, lift my heart, hug my shin bone in towards my chest, lift my chest up to the shin bone. And slowly release. Now this time, make sure that your strap is handy, but leave it off to the side, roll onto your backs. Float the feet so that shin bones are parallel to the mat. Reach your fingertips outside of the legs towards your heels. Zip up the low belly, draw it into the back of the body. Inhale, float shoulder blades and shoulders and head and all that goodness off of the mat. Inhale, lengthen your legs long, shoulder blades stay floating. Exhale, knees back in towards chest. Hug your inner thighs and knees in. Keep working those adductors and inner thighs. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, lengthen. Keep floating those shoulder blades. You can do it. Exhale, hug it in. You can stay just like this or add the arms. Inhale, lengthen legs long. Reach arms up and overhead. Shoulder blades stay lifted. Exhale, reach forward, bend knees. Inhale, keep going. You've got this. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring it in. Last one, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring it in. We roll to a seat. Grab your strap. Loop the strap around the ball of your right foot. Grab both ends of the strap in your left hand. Take your right hand underneath the right calf and start to draw the knee and the thigh outside of your ribs. Start to sneak your arm underneath that knee and shoulder. I'll turn to face you so you can see a little bit better. So even if you're here, be here. Maybe it's just a matter of sneaking that knee up the arm slowly but surely as time goes on. But zip up that low belly. Try to get that rib to thigh connection and inner leg to outer rib, outer shoulder connection. Now, as you get to where you're going, right arm reaches out to the right. Reach out through the left leg and lift your heart underneath your left arm as the left arm starts to lengthen with the leg. Squeeze your leg onto your shoulder. And slowly release. Not too bad, was it? Or maybe it was horrible every step of the way. That's all right too. Let's try the other side. Loop the strap around the ball of the left foot, grabbing both ends of that strap in the right hand. Grab the back of the left calf. Start to shimmy and shake the left side body underneath that leg. And then once it's where it's gonna go, really squeeze your leg, even here, onto your shoulder. Reach left arm out to the left. I'm still actively squeezing my leg onto my shoulder as I send my left leg straight. Roll and wrap your left ribs forward as you draw right ribs back. And slowly release. Move that strap out of your way. We meet in down dog, however you'd like to get there. Inhale, right leg high, gaze forward outside of your right hand. Exhale, step it wide. Zip up low right belly, find your lizard lunge. I wonder if it's gonna be any easier for you here after doing this in a seated variation. So grab the back of the right leg, shimmy that shoulder underneath the leg. But now you're gonna toe heel your right foot in towards the midline so that you can plant your right palm underneath your shoulder, actively squeezing that leg onto your shoulder. Stretch your heart forward. Press into the palms, especially the inner edges of the palms. Maybe start to lift the right heel. Maybe start to send it forward, sort of like hurdlers, but we're not flying. Start to come to chaturanga, bend the elbows. And release. Plant the right foot, toe heel it back towards midline, warrior two. Inhale, press the front leg straight, reach up, triangle pose. Let's skip the half bind. And exhale, fold inside of that leg. Inhale, lift your gaze, bend your front knee. Down dog, exhale. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower to your bellies. Inhale, cobra or up dog if you feel ready. Exhale, down dog. Gaze forward outside of your left hand. Inhale, left leg high. For real this time. Exhale, step it forward. Get inside of that left inner thigh. Grab the calf, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy underneath, and squeeze that inner leg onto the outer shoulder as you toe heel foot towards midline. Make room for that left hand to plant underneath left shoulder. Lift that heel, lengthen front to back, still zipping up that low belly, hugging that leg in. Start to send the leg forward. Start to bend the arms. Inhale to lift back up. Plant that foot, toe heel foot to midline. Warrior two. Exhale. Inhale, press it straight, reach up. Triangle pose. Inhale, lengthen spine. Reach up through those right fingertips. And exhale, fold inside of the leg. Inhale, lift your gaze, bend your front knee, toe heel left foot wide. You guessed it, Malasana squat. Slowly make your way to a seat. From here, reach fingertips forward. Draw the belly in, stretch shoulder blades wide. Try to stall your seat as long as possible. And come to a seat. Now, keep your feet planted about outer hip width distance. Knees have a slight bend. Stretch your fingers out in front of you, arms out in front of you, shoulder blades stay nice and wide. Slowly roll back one vertebrae at a time. We never let shoulder blades land. Keep low belly zipped up. On the exhale, as we come up, it's almost like we're being propelled up, like as though we could stand up from here. That's the power that we're going to use to come on up. So take another inhale. Exhale, explode up. Inhale, roll down. Exhale, explode up. If you've ever been water skiing or wakeboarding, it's like you're being pulled up by the handles. Inhale, roll down. Exhale, explode up. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, roll down. Exhale, explode up. 1 more. Roll down on the inhale. Exhale. Now remember that as we go for our first attempt at 8 ankle pose. So I'm going to show you side to side. I feel like it's probably the best view for you to get of this. No more strap this time. And you're going to work with where you're at. So I'm not mirroring, so this is my right leg. It looks like the left to you, but this is my right leg. Now, my left shin is going to stay down as we begin. I'm going to grab my right foot with my left hand, pick it up, grab my right calf with my right hand, zip up my belly as I start to shimmy my leg in. Now, the biggest thing here is that squeezing of my right knee onto my shoulder. I'm sliding down a little bit, that's okay. But I want to actively hold my leg on my arm, okay? I want you to squeeze the leg in and down, okay? So hugging leg in and down. Active foot. I'm going to plant my hands about outer shoulder distance. I'm going to take my left leg and hook it on top of my right. I'm linking and hooking my ankles. Now I'm hugging both thighs in and I'm propelling forward. Okay, I'm using that sensation of to come forward. So let's try that again as I readjust myself. So getting that knee hugging nice and tight on that shoulder, belly zipped up, hugging it in, planting my palms, hooking my ankles, gaze forward, reach your heart forward, propel forward, squeeze your inner knees or your inner thighs onto that upper arm bone and press the leg straight. Hug your arm bones back and into your shoulder sockets. Weight is even in the palms. And slowly release. So even if you're just working on the hoist up, right? That sense of, I'm gonna stand up from here. I'm gonna press myself up from here. That's gonna help you in that first few attempts to get your butt off of the mat. Because your legs and your pelvis are super, super heavy. So it takes a lot of oomph, all right? Let's try with the other side. So right shin bone down, left leg. Right hand grabs opposite foot. Left hand helps to shimmy my arm and shoulder underneath my leg. Hug it in actively, planting palms, hooking ankles. And again, remember, hugging inner thighs in towards one another as I lean forward, hoist up, squeeze my inner thighs actively on that upper arm bone as I send my feet long and actively reach out through my feet. Arm bones backing into shoulder sockets, heart stretching forward. Weight is even in hands. And release. All right. Come back to hands and knees, all fours, but sink your hips back onto your heels. Maybe shake out your wrists. Flip your palms face up. Close your eyes for a moment. And take stock and notice, are there stories? Are they indeed true? And even if they are true or not, is it useful to you? Will it continue to be useful or unuseful moving forward? And slowly float the eyes open. We meet in down dog. Inhale your gaze forward. As you exhale, step, float, or hop, forward fold, top of the mat. Make sure your feet are hip width distance. Turn your palms to face up, fingertips face your toes. Pick up your left foot, lift up onto the heel, slide your palm underneath your foot. Same thing with the right foot. Toes are somewhere in your wrist creases. And just walk your toes out onto the base of your wrists. Allow the backs of those wrists to stretch out nice and long. Lift low belly away from thighs. But see if you can compress those ribs onto those thighs. Lengthen crown of head and ears towards your feet. Let shoulders be relaxed here so they will lift up towards your ears. You don't need to drag them down the back. Just let everything hang. Lift your gaze for balance. See if you can slide your hands out simultaneously from underneath your feet. And plant your palms, step back, down dog. Pigeon prep. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right shin forward. Wrap outer left hip forward, draw your right hip back. Knee maybe moves outside of the line of your hip. It's a direction, not a requirement. Low belly is still zipped, and press your glutes onto the backs of your thighs or have that action even here. Reach back through your left toes. And maybe sleep your pigeon, relaxing forward. That same rib to thigh, rib to shin even connection here. And slowly lift yourself back up. Walk your palms back underneath shoulders, tuck toes. Lift up, press into the earth first, and then lift that right leg up and back. Bend and straighten the leg or release that hip in any way that feels good to you. And slowly release back to down dog. As you inhale, left leg high. Pigeon prep, other side. Outer right hip now wraps forward. Left hip draws back. Pelvis is still squaring to the top of the mat. Reach back through all 5 right toes as you press the glutes into the backs of the thighs, zipping up low belly. Maybe walk hands forward. Start to actively reach those ribs onto that front left leg. Maybe close your eyes and take a moment and notice any recurring thought patterns, any unnecessary effort, anything that's not adding value, and let it go. Walk those hands back, palms plant underneath shoulders, tuck back toes, press into the earth first actively, and then lift up and back. Releasing left hip. And slowly back to down dog. Soften your knees to the mat, inner thighs and knees touch, big toes touch. Sink hips back to heels, embryo child's pose. Backs of the hands sweep next to the feet. As forehead softens towards the mat. Shoulders drip towards the ears as the shoulder blades cascade off the back. Plant your fingertips on either side of your shins. Inhale to lift up, sit up, set yourself up for camel pose, our back bend of class today. Tuck your toes under. We'll do one round of camel. Knees are underneath, kneecaps, are underneath your bony hip points. That zipping up of the low belly and pressing your glutes into the backs of your thighs powerfully, so much that you feel it's not just sending your hips forward and compressing the low back, it is actively widening the low back. It's keeping it nice and neutral and using all of the muscles that actively extend our hips instead of just dumping the weight of our pelvis forward and compressing the low back. So you can see here, I'm already sort of in this like nice little extension through the front of my body. Hands on ribs or maybe low back, perhaps as you inhale, lengthen your ribs out of your hips. Maybe use the hands to help lift, lift, lift. Press your heart forward, stretch your heart forward. Draw your ears back, sides of neck stay long. Start to lean shoulders back by pressing shoulder blades up through the chest and rolling tops of shoulders back. Maybe reach for those inner heels. Press your fingers out into the inner heels. Press your inner heels back into your hands. And slowly bring palms to low back. Press low back into palms. To sit onto the heels, untuck your toes, flip your palms to face the sky, close your eyes. Notice, again, what's coming up. And come back to presence. And slowly sweep your feet out from underneath you. You can keep eyes closed or softly open them as you make your way to your back. Slowly hug right knee in towards chest. Lengthen left leg long. Gently flex both feet. Take your right hand, or left hand, excuse me, and place it on the outer right knee. Right arm releases out to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Draw that knee over to the left as you anchor down through that right shoulder blade. The point is not for this knee to touch, but to find a twist, which requires an anchor, being our right shoulder blade. Inhale back through center. Hug right knee in again. And switch. Exhaling left knee in towards chest, right leg long. Right hand grabs outer left knee, left arm releases out to the left, anchor through the left shoulder. Exhale. Draw that left leg over right side body. Inhale, slowly roll onto your back. Exhaling to draw both knees in towards your chest. Wrap forearms around shins, reach for opposite elbows. Curl up into a tiny little ball. Bring forehead to kneecaps. Curl up your toes, squeeze your legs together, draw your belly in, clench your jaw, get tight. Squeeze your elbows in, clench your shoulders in your chest, get smaller and tighter. Squeeze harder. And slowly release. Unfurl, one layer at a time. Planting heels, possibly as wide as your mat. Bring your arms out to your sides. Take up space. Shoulder blades underneath you and down your back. Using each exhale to soften deeply into this moment. Releasing any thoughts, any stories, holding you and attaching you to what isn't true of right now. I invite you to stay here in a soft awareness and presence for as long as is useful. I honor you deeply in gratitude and respect. I'll see you next time.